Hello and welcome to the Love and Logic narration overview of Chapter 1 by me, Justin Ward. Take a moment and view this video, and then we will get into the do now. Alright, so system support. Those are the two key things that a teacher will need. Yeah, we would like to have more time and more energy, but we know that does not always work out in our favor. In Chapter 1, we have a teacher that is seeking some answers, and when we all are in education, we all seek answers. So we may have all had this to happen. Nothing's working. There's hope. Making a plan, setting limits, handling them without breaking a sweat, ready for action in the midst of immediate consequences. Some of our experiences has touched on some of these topic contents, but this just outlines each main topic of Chapter 1. Now, in the do now, we were supposed to think about the questions: what do we do when we feel like this, or have we ever felt like this? So we may have seen some of these statements made. We may have made these statements ourselves. Things like, nothing's working, they don't respect me. I've tried everything, but these kids won't listen. I can't get anything done because of the constant interrupting and arguing. So any of this has come up in your teaching at some point in time. So take a moment and talk to your neighbor about if this has happened to you, how it makes you feel, and what would you, and if it has happened to you, and how does it make you feel, or what do you do about it? So take a moment. Okay, that is my abbreviated moment, and we're moving on, and we're going to discuss that as we move forward. But as it relates to the topic, we know that if we ever felt like nothing's working, there's always hope. And in the text, it talks about on pages 4 and 5 how relationships are the foundation for all effective classroom management. And we got to be kind to ourselves by making sure that we incorporate small incremental changes. We don't want to do a complete overhaul. We want to make sure we make small incremental changes but address the most pressing needs. And in that, of course, we want to make a plan. But in that making that plan, we got to have some support to discuss with our colleagues or co-teachers or whoever that may be, and make that plan and make it address the most pressing need. Now, we all want to aspire to be like her grandpa Abe. It says that he was very strong and loving. At the same time, he could handle us without breaking a sweat. But he was almost always soft-spoken and encouraging. So we want to be able to have that balance. We don't want to go off on the deep end and be very demonstrative or demonstrative, and just being very irate and animated. We want to be able to be short, sweet, to the point, and effective in our corrections. But in building a relationship, that's where it all begins, because just like in the text, we know that we can't get anything done until we start making those connections. And we build those relationships by helping people to feel special, focusing on what they do well, and just noticing them overall. Have the expectation, but show them love and compassion, and don't always address them in a negative, mean manner. Because sometimes, too often, those are some of the main interactions, negative interactions we have with certain students. But in doing that, we will grow and develop ways to be able to set the tone or set the limit with a whisper. I've done that by using proximity and not being very calling the student out as to highlight what they're doing wrong or embarrass them amongst their peers. I get to them, ask them carefully, discreetly, and 90% of the time I get the result that I'm intending to get. So we have that example in the experiment as it relates to refusing to do work. But we see the teacher just asked them discreetly and moved on. We didn't want to harp on it. We didn't want any opportunity for any confrontation to take place. Now, handling them without breaking a sweat. Students need to see that we are caring and powerful enough to establish safe and orderly classrooms. They want to know that we are capable. They want to understand that, yeah, we think that we are capable, but they want to know that, hey, you can manage this, but we can. So in that part of the text, it takes us to having that plan, using our discreet manner of addressing them, and also noticing them to have that action plan ready to go. And with that, the students always will see that, okay, you have their best interest in mind and you want to help them be their best. Now, we also see that at times we have these preconceived notions about how things should work. But we know that there is a myth of immediate consequences, and we need to make sure that we address people appropriately, because at times in the heat of the battle, we may be overwhelmed, we may be feeling a certain way, and we may not be able to think clearly. But we do have some key points that they have illustrated to us that are problems that would have or require an immediate consequence. For example, I'm not going to read all of them. If you don't provide an immediate consequence, the child won't learn. If you don't provide immediate consequence, we may react before talking, taking time to anticipate potential problems with consequences they are providing. We may discipline when they are too angry to think, or work with the kids when they are too angry to think. So it's some key ways of having some balance and control of addressing the problem issues that may arise. Of course, we were able to find this information from the Lovely Love and Logic textbook, and the video was something that I was able to find online. It was on YouTube as well as the Work Smarter, Keep Joy in Teaching website. Basically, that chapter 1 was one that stood out to me because I wanted to make sure that when I am mindful of being joyful and bringing the enthusiasm to my class, the students respond. I want to be able to engage them and not just merely dictate and correct them or order them around. So chapter 1 was one of those chapters that really stood out to me and helped me to see that, hey, keep your joy and don't let anybody steal your joy, and always remember your why. Thank you.